Mr. Dunlap, we are officially live
All
for our
right,
early
let's
bird
go.
attendees.
All
Let's
right,
go.
looking
Let's
forward to it.
go.
Let's go. Fast forward.
Fast forward. You know what we do here? We actually pull the future forward to help everybody get ahead of what's going on out there. Because now is the time, right? Like now is the time
is,
to
man.
like pull that future forward, my friend.
It really is. I mean, there's really no what's going on. Donna from Hilton Head. Would love to
Donna,
golf
you
in
should be out on
Hilton
the
Head.
golf course right now.
That's
What
what
are you
I was
doing
just,
here?
I was going to say the same thing. It's probably hot. I went golfing yesterday in Austin. It was 100, or Friday. It was 101. I don't recommend it.
First world problems, you know. It's a tough one.
True.
Welcome to our early bird attendees. We're going to kick things off here in just a moment. For those I haven't met, my name is Tyler Lessard from Vidyard. I will be here to introduce this session, get you all fired up, and of course, we have the one and only Jake Dunlap from Scaled. I am so excited about this session, Jake, because rumor is you have spent 987 years studying artificial intelligence in sales.
Correct. Yeah. With AI, it's 987. I've used the AI to study the AI,
That's right. Yeah. It's a compound effect, which is great. Look at what we've got going on here. Shannon from Coeur d'Alene has joined us.
Right. Shout out to
Javier's
Idaho.
here.
In case you guys don't know, that's Idaho.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You thought it was like France or something, didn't you? You're like, oh, Coeur d'Alene. There you go.
I'm Canadian. I was thinking it was a...
Oh, there you go.
Welcome, folks. For those of you just joining us, we hope you're coming from another amazing session here at Fast Forward. We're going to kick things off here in about 30 seconds. It looks like we got lots of folks joining and hopping on in here. I am so excited for this session to peel back different areas of how AI can accelerate, can enhance, can perhaps even save your outbound. There's nobody better, nobody more qualified, nobody even more entertaining to talk about that than the one and only Jake Dunlap, who is joining us here today. Thanks to everybody for dropping the hellos into the chat and getting active. You all know it fuels up our speakers when you get in there. And Jake, I know you're going to be lighting up the chat and asking people questions to get them going as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Well, we were waiting for Doug Lehman to join, and Doug Lehman in
He's
layman's
here.
terms,
That's the kickoff time.
It's the official kickoff. Welcome, everyone, on 5 strategies to save your outbound with AI. My name is Tyler Lessard from Vidyard. I am so thrilled to have brought this session to life with my good friend Jake Dunlap from Scaled. You're all up and in for some eye-opening ideas and some things that are going to be super practical that you can take away. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Jake to introduce himself further and to run with this session. Please be active in the chat. Let's show our love in the chat to Jake. Over to you, my friend.
There we go. Appreciate it, Tyler. Well, thanks, everybody. Good to see everyone getting involved in the chat. I always tell people in these sessions to just be selfish. I really try to multitask and look at questions that people have too. We only have 25 minutes, so I don't have a ton of time, but I will keep my eyes peeled on the chat. And again, really looking forward to the session. Appreciate that, Gianluca. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm Jake Dunlap. I run a sales strategy and operations firm, Scaled Consulting. We work with hundreds of companies every year. We are the largest deployment partner. We're an implementation partner for Vidyard. With a ton of different tools. We've done hundreds of outbound overhauls on all your favorite tools, Outreach, SalesLoft, HubSpot for sales, etc. So really, there's not very many people in the world that touch as many outbound optimization and outbound platforms as we do at Scaled. And I get the luxury of kind of rolling that up and seeing trends and what's working and what's not. I'm going to dive into the deck here in a second. I'll tell you all kind of my journey with AI. Started with having a beer with a friend, Kevin Dorsey. Many of you might know. We were having some pizza and beer about, 8 weeks ago. And we were just starting to talk about all the different applications. And I really I through that start of that conversation, and then as I started to get deeper into it, really, it became very clear to me. And I hope all of you are here today, so hopefully it's clear to you that AI is not another technology. AI is not like, oh yeah, that's going to help me to get leads faster or increase my email deliverability. It became very clear to me that AI is going to transform the way that many of us, are, knowledge workers. We are people that our value to the world is what we have in our brain and the skills that we have learned. And AI is going to really disrupt components of that. And so, what I'm excited to do is share with you right now some of the tactical ways that we are implementing AI for our clients right now. We are really, I would like to think we're fast forwarding people to the future, but we're creating a whole division at scale, which is AI process optimization. I'm so, and again, it's not even bullish on this. It's and again, I don't think I'm Nostradamus, the psychic or anything, but I think it's very clear that this is going to be our new normal in terms of how we integrate AI into our day to day. So without further ado, all righty, I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to get it kick started. Let me make sure I can see the chat still while I'm doing this. Let's do the old slideshow and let's roll. Okay, so we've already introed me. Let's get into it. So again, I talked about kind of my journey with AI. Like I said before, I feel like if you are listening to this, look, I've got about a little over 20 years of sales and sales leadership experience. I just had my 43rd birthday. So that happened. So I can tell you there has never been a moment that like now where I was talking to, again, I talk to, tens or hundreds of CEOs and sales leaders every month. I feel like I have to go back to complete beginner's mind and just erase the way that I used to think about working. And that might sound crazy or intense, but just the things I'm going to show you today are very much focused on outbound. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing great as well. The things I'm going to are focused on outbound, but if you all just pause after this session or come back to it and think through, it's going to start to open your mind to all the different things that you're going to be able to do here. Okay. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, sir. Right now the stats, again, that we've seen, about 25% of companies are actually have AI. And by the way, I think this number is conflated probably a little bit with like AI, like V1 AI, which is really just glorified if this, then that, not true AI. But right now, about 25% are saying that they are using some form of artificial intelligence. I really think that number is closer to 5 or 10 percent. There certainly are, some tools that help to predictively tell you which accounts to target. But I'm talking about actually generative AI in your day to day. Again, what I'm seeing in the market is it's less than probably 5 or 10%. So the good news for all of you is we're all at the beginning. Okay. And this truly is the beginning. The difference is things are going to move very quickly. And so it goes back to it. But again, you have to really, really, really think about where you're going to implement this. And again, outbound to me is one of the really big ones. There we go. All right. Well, that's a big one there, Jeffrey. Thank you, sir. So let's get into it. So again, lots of sales technologies that exist. I'm telling you right now, AI is like none of them. It is going to disrupt further. And a lot of the use cases I'm going to talk about are very specific. And look, whether you're a Bard fan or a ChatGPT fan, I don't really care. It's really that you're using AI, and there's other ones out there too that are pretty great. So for the next 15 plus minutes, I'm going to kind of talk you through the 5 ways that I see this really impacting, and then how you all can really start to harness the power. The 3 big ones to think about: rep, onboarding, and ramp. I did a post this morning on LinkedIn. If you all follow me on LinkedIn, definitely do. If you do not follow me now, I post regularly, and I've been talking a ton about AI for the last probably 5-6 weeks. Rep onboarding time is going to shrink like you cannot believe. I'm very confident we're going to be able to start to build onboarding plans for our clients that ramp reps in 3 to 4 weeks instead of 3 to 4 months. Okay. And I'm going to talk about how here in a second. Quality, we implemented all these tools so we could push the more button a lot more. Quality has went like this on Outbound. Like literally, if I could show like a cliff, I would have that. And then just making our people more productive. So those are going to be the 3 areas I'm going to talk about. So number 1 here, 5 ways AI can help you. I've not played around with Watson IBM. If that's available, I will check it out though. So personalization and prep. I think this to me is one of the more interesting use cases that I think more teams are understanding. Okay, so again, this is just some prompts that we did. It's just a little GIF or GIF, depending on what camp you're in there. Again, going back to that rampant onboarding, I can get someone up to speed on a persona at an insane rate. You know, I can say, great, hey, I'm an industrial manufacturing company. I sell to project managers in companies this size, this size, this size, assuming these economic conditions and this job title. What are some key pain points that I might be able to solve for them? Okay, well, how does that change if this changes? So your ability to personalize based on the industry, the persona, and the individual is insane. Okay, there's literally no excuse for any of you, for any organization. If your reps are hitting send all and you are continuing to focus on just quantity metrics, what I hope everyone does with AI is you don't increase the quantity that you're asking from people. Instead, you allow them to beef up the quality of what they're doing. And that's what I'm talking about now, right? Again, ask ChatGPT to summarize an article. Okay. Upload a video transcript. Okay. Upload and search PDFs. There's one that's Ask Your PDF. There's, what do you call it? PDF, chat PDF that you can do this with as well too. There is no reason that for not personalizing in 2023 and going forward. I'm telling you right now, if your teams are not customizing outreach, it's why your results are what they are. It's why your reply rates are 30% or 35 or 40%, and your open rates are 35%, and your reply rates are, 0.5 or lower. We're seeing just some astronomically low numbers. So think personalize. And again, I'm okay. Like really good persona-based personalization cuts through the noise like you won't believe. But saying, hey, I see the CEO of Scaled Consulting, my friends, that does not cut through the noise. Or when I see some of these other like AI tools, as they call them, for like customizing top of the funnel, it's like, well, Jake, I know as a CEO, you probably care. It's like, no, use this to really get narrow. I do this. Here's my products. You can upload the products that you sell and say, if you were a project manager, what are the top 3 things that you might care about here? Right? So think of personalization. We've got a whole list of prompts here. Becca, I know for my team, has joined this. Tyler, you can confirm if we're going to send the slides out. If not, happy to send the slides out. If you all just, DM me on LinkedIn or Tyler, I don't know what the plan is after this, but so no. I misspoke, Sean. I didn't mean reply rates are 30%. I was saying open rates are 30%. Reply rates are like 0.3%. So that was on me. So again, just think about how quickly I can get up to speed on a persona. I can get up to speed on an industry, right? Again, I would really, happy to share this, Fahad. Again, I don't know how we're planning to share this, but we can get you guys this deck for sure. If you also go to my LinkedIn, I've shared, I think, a lot of these prompts before. But again, so think of personalization to the individual as a part of this, okay? Second is the writing process, okay? When we think about this in particular, lead gen and research alone consumes about 21% of reps' times. So I'll wait for the team at Vidyard to let me know kind of what we're planning to do from a content share standpoint. So from my side, and again, when we think about this in particular, the ability to do this at scale, where you can I mean, again, I hope all of you, maybe your mind is like, again, if Tony, you're a newbie here, you might be a little, blown away by some of this, or just like thinking about it. Just think about content creation. I want to go create a XYZ. I'm getting ready to send a recap email. Imagine a world where I can literally go to ChatGPT. I can say, I just had a meeting with these personas in this industry. I sell a product that does this. They had objections or questions around A, B, C activities. Write me a follow-up email. So there you go. Write me a follow-up email to this. So again, there is no need to start from scratch. Again, but I will say this. This is my number one caveat, okay? AI does not equal automation. For for this case in particular, don't just copy and paste. It gets you started, okay? There you go. So there you go. All right. And we go. All right. This one, get ready. Let's go. Role play to get better. This is the one I really don't think people. Again, I guess it's weird, right? It's probably weird for some people to be like, wait, I'm going to role play with a chat bot. Yeah, that's exactly what I want you to do. So again, if you're an outbound rep, okay, you're outbound or you're an AE who's doing more and more of this type of work, think about this in particular. Okay, I sell a product that does blah, 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 blah. Here's our value prop. Here's the people I sell into. Here's the sub industry. I've got a call with this person. What do you think will go wrong with this call? Tell them the scenario and ask ChatGPT, what do you think is going to go wrong with this call? Okay. Where might this type of job title, assuming these economic conditions, be beneficial? Or where do you think they're going to, have issue as a part of this? So again, I really the role playing that you can do. If I was a rep right now, if I was managing a frontline team or managing a massive, sales organization, my reps would be required as a part of onboarding to role play like multiple hours a day with ChatGPT. Like in terms of getting people up to speed on the things I talked about, personalizing, the persona development, etc., the ability to role play is absolutely critical. Okay, one thing I want to make sure that everybody knows as well too, okay? Again, some of you have been using AI for a long time. You're going to be like, Jake, obviously we know this. A lot of people don't. Just keep in mind, and again, I'll just use ChatGPT, but Bard and some of these other ones. Most of you aren't going to be doing any type of like training on the back end, but every thread you start is like a new consciousness you just woke up. So what I want you to think about when you're doing these activities, don't just do one long run-on thread where you're asking different questions. Instead, create a role play for CFO chat thread where you're like, okay, you are a CFO of a company this size in this industry. I sell these products. Help me to put together the right pitch and messaging for you. And then just keep training it, all those things as well. So again, think of this right now, the role play abilities. Again, I'm a new rep. I just started. I want you to think about how we used to get people up to speed. We would do these trainings and then we'd roll this thing out and then we'd roll this thing out. Literally, I can train someone, like I said, in weeks. And I can get them to having like really good, high quality conversations in weeks. Okay, so I said AI is not automation. With that said, there are some things, right, that we can automate, like follow-ups. I can tell you right now, like we're playing with some stuff. I saw Brian's in the chat. Of course, Brian's in the chat anytime AI is being talked about. If you guys don't follow Brian from the Scaled team, follow him. He talks a lot about AI as well too. There are a lot of like, let's call it like non-needed customization things that you can automate, okay, with Zapier in particular. So if you all don't know, you can go to ChatGPT, sign up for a developer account, and then you can get access to APIs, which allow you to pull in, you can download the Slack or the Zapier or some of these other tools, right? So some of the things we're thinking about is like, okay, we could trigger an email to get sent after this activity. I don't know, right? I could trigger a Slack message, and Brian and I were messing around with this one that Brian built like pretty quickly, where it's the first use case I mentioned, like the personalization in Slack as well too. So I want you to think about this. You can trigger new prompts from like emails that are responded to. So there's different ways that you can automate. Again, what I don't want you to take away from today's session, I don't know if people usually frame it that way. I want you 100% to not take away from this session any ideas that I should be copying and pasting an email written by ChatGPT to automate the emails that I'm sending. Instead, I want you to use the data that you have, from what's working, what's not working. And I want this to help to make you smarter or better as well too. Let's see. I got a quick question here. Does each prompt signify hitting the enter button within the same conversation, regardless of response? I think I follow this. Each prompt is signify hitting the enter button within the same. Yes is the answer. Now, what you can do is you could tell it to disregard an earlier part of the chat. You could tell it to pay more attention to a part of the chat. So each prompt is like making it smarter on that topic, hypothetically, depending on the feedback that you're giving the system. So that's just a great one. I mean, again, there's some of the automations on the back end. There's just things like if I was a rep today, I could just be so like high quality lazy by using again, ChatGPT to help me with some of this. Again, and like imagine what I can tell it is like, I sell to this persona. Here's what I do. Here's what my product does. And then, shout out to Vidyard. I can say, write me a 20-second video script that I can send to blah, blah, blah. Right. So again, there's just a lot of things here. Do not automate sending like follow-up emails and other random things. Do not automate sending net new business emails. Okay, last but certainly not least, I could not end this without talking about LinkedIn. I will give ChatGPT about like a 6 or 7 in its like ability to write decent content. But again, you can use it to write a reply to a post. Like you want to write a comment, you're not sure what to say, just ask it. Okay, there you go. So you can see that example here. I like to use it again if you're someone who's like, look, I want to build I'm an SDR or an AE who prospects in an industry. I want to build my reputation in that industry. My friends, start feeding it your company white papers. Like, hey, write me a LinkedIn post based on this white paper that has a slight edge to it. Like you can tell it to like have a slight edge, be more casual. What did I do the other day? It's like I did something about like how would George Washington say this? I don't remember. But long story short, I want you all to think about a lot of you probably using LinkedIn as a part of your strategy for Outbound. Well, I'm telling you that the team members and the teams where their reps post even a little bit outperform by orders of magnitude the teams where, and again, assuming your audience is on LinkedIn, where they're just sending cold emails in particular. So that's what's up, everyone. That is what I got for you today. So I hope that this was a valuable session. There's a couple links in here that you all can check out as well. Becca from my team is going to drop in the chat. We are launching out a new AI process integration role at Scaled. And so if any of your organizations out there are listening and you're interested in Jake, I love all this. Can someone just kind of help us to do this and to integrate AI at these points? Absolutely. It's a big part of where we see the future going. So again, I hope this helps. Again, for a lot of you out there, I want you to think about AI is going to change the way that we work. And the people and teams that leverage these tools are going to be the teams that win. Okay. And I would just also say, maybe unlike some other sales technologies where you feel like, oh, my company's job is to train me on this technology. My company's job is to like make sure that I know what's going on with AI in this new world. Okay. More and more and more of you all are responsible. Okay. You are responsible for learning these things. Oh, great. So Becca dropped it. Again, if you all want to book with myself, or I'll loop in some people from the team to talk about AI, how teams are integrating it, that's my kind of quick pitch. Definitely book some time with us for sure. Yes, the session will be recorded. And if you just DM me on LinkedIn, you guys can see my email. I flashed it up there before. We can make sure you get the presentation as well. So I hope this helps a lot of you, at least get your, mind going, because this is really important stuff. It's really, really important that everyone listening starts to figure out how to incorporate AI into their day-to-day. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the sessions and look forward to connecting with all of you on LinkedIn or connecting live.